Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy CV with another reaction video. Now, somebody gave me a list, and I'll put it on the screen somewhere, but they gave me a list to watch some of these videos I haven't done on George Carlin, and I said, you goddamn right I will. Here we are. The first one that I chose to do is called The 10 Commandments. It's funny, though, because every time I hear that or read that, I don't automatically think about the Bible. I think of Biggie's version, the 10 Crack Commandments. If you haven't heard that, look up Biggie, B-I-G, Notorious Big. Anyways, man, this is George Carlin, man. George's amazing. I'm going to say this, man. I do pause a lot. I know some of you guys hate it, but like if I got to say something, I'm going to pause, even if it's at a wrong moment. I'll try to go back a little bit. I'm giving you a disclaimer now. This is just how I do stuff, man. Like some of you guys probably heard it 30,000 times. This is my first time. So the way I take in, I don't know, information or music or anything is my way. So I'm warning you now, man. If you don't like somebody who talks a lot and pause, get out. Anyways, man, let's get this to 100 likes if you can. Appreciate y'all. Let's do it.
Thank you. Well, folks, here's something else I got a problem with. The 10 Commandments. Here's my problem. Why are there 10? You don't need 10. I think the list of commandments was deliberately and artificially inflated to get it up to 10. It's a padded list. Here's what they did. About 5,000 years ago, a bunch of religious and political hustlers got together to try.
Yo, you got to listen to George. Like, okay, maybe I'm just a fan of the man, but the words that he chose, inflation, padded, hold on.
You don't need 10. I think the list of commandments was deliberately and artificially inflated to get it up to 10. It's a padded list.
Yep.
Here's what they did. About 5,000 years ago, a bunch of religious and political hustlers.
Like with George, like that doesn't seem funny, but like you just got to like listen. The words that he chooses is carefully chosen by him. And I like it, man, because you got to sit and think what he's saying. What does that word mean? It may not sound funny at the time, but he's schooling you. Like right here is not a joke. Right here is schooling time. You just got to listen to the words and know the meaning of these words. And like I said, English is not my first language, but I know these words that he's using here. Like I said, it's not funny yet. There's no punchline. But as you're waiting for a punchline, you're being schooled. Just think about the words that he uses, man.
Deliberately and artificially inflated to get it up to 10. It's a padded list. Here's what they did. About 5,000 years ago, a bunch of religious and political hustlers got together to try to figure out how to control people, how to keep them in line. They knew together.
See, look at the wink.
Try to figure out how.
I'm sorry, man. I'm drinking some water, and you know what I mean? So I get into it. But look at that wink.
How to control people. How to keep them in line.
Yeah.
They knew people were basically stupid
right,
and would believe anything they were told. So they announced that God had given them some commandments. Up on a mountain, when no one was around, God had given them the 10 Commandments. But let me ask you this. When they were sitting around making this shit up, why did they pick 10? Why 10? Why not 9 or 11? I'll tell you why. Because 10 sounds official. 10 sounds important.
It does.
They knew if it was 11, people wouldn't take it seriously. Say, what, are you kidding me? The 11 commandments? Get the fuck out of here. But 10 sounds important. 10 is the basis for the decimal system. It's a decade. It's a psychologically satisfying number.
I
the
agree.
Top 10, the 10 most wanted, the 10 best dressed. So having 10 commandments was really a marketing decision. And to me, it's clearly a bullshit list. It's a political document artificially inflated to sell better. I'm going to show you how you could reduce the number of commandments and come up with a list that's a little more workable and logical.
Yeah, the fact that he said I'm going to reduce it and show you a way where it's like logical. Like I said, you just got to look. I'll say it again. English is not my first language. I'm still learning the goddamn language, man. There's words I can't even pronounce. My son is 18 and he's pronounced like every time him and I are having a conversation, which is often, he's like, Dad, that's not how you say that word. I'm like, I know. Even though a lot of you guys will say, no, dude, your English is, anyways, it's not about me. But yeah, it's the word that he chooses that I think is what I appreciate about George, is because there's a lot of comedians, I'm waiting for the punchlines. I'm waiting for the funny. With him, I'm not waiting for the funny. The funny just happens when it happens, but it's the word that he chooses that you have to listen to. And I think that's when he's doing his masterclass. That's when he's teaching that. I think that's where people don't really listen. Not people, I shouldn't say people don't listen. Those that just don't get it. Like, I'll be honest, it was first couple of times I've listened to George, and I'm like, wait, I have to reset how I listen to George or how I listen to George's comedy, because it's not the same as listening to other comedians. And I had to retool the way I think when he speaks. And that's what I've done. So I know I'm just yapping, but I don't know, man. To me, it's like there's something about George that it's just so good to hear, and the words that he uses. I think he carefully uses those words.
Lyrical document artificially inflated to sell better. I'm going to show you how you could reduce the number of commandments and come up with a list that's a little more workable and logical. We're going to start with the first three, and I'll use the Roman Catholic version because those are the ones I was taught as a little boy. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have strange gods before me. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Thou shalt keep holy the Sabbath. Right off the bat, the first three, pure bullshit.
I'm going to tell you now, I don't remember all 10. I didn't know that was the first three. It's like, okay, don't say God's name in vain. Yeah, I get it. And I used to go to church every Sunday. You know, I turned 18 where I could make some decisions. I was like, I can pray from home. I can talk to God one-on-one. That's a whole different story for another day.
Sabbath day, Lord's name, strange gods, spooky language. Spooky language. Designed to scare and control primitive people. In no way does superstitious nonsense like this apply to the lives of intelligent, civilized humans in the 21st century. You throw out the first three commandments, you're down to 7. Next, honor thy father and mother. Obedience, respect for authority. Just another name for controlling people. The truth is, obedience and respect should not be automatic. They should be earned. They should be based on the parent's performance.
Bro, he said on the parent's performance. But what kids think that way, though? That's not a thing, you know? But as an adult, though, I do think about that. Like how my mother was, like, she's just an amazing woman. And that's why, like, when my mom calls, I run. I'm there before she hangs up. Honestly, there's stories I can tell you guys, you just wouldn't believe it. I'm talking about to the point where I saved her life. Yeah, man, I don't play about my mother because of that. Because of her performance growing up. I like that.
Some parents deserve respect. Most of them don't. Period.
Today?
You're down to 6. Now, in the interest of logic, something religion is very uncomfortable with, we're going to jump around the list a little bit. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Stealing and lying. Well, actually, these two both prohibit the same kind of behavior. Dishonesty, stealing, and lying. So you don't need two of them. Instead, you combine them and you call it thou shalt not be dishonest. And suddenly, you're down to 5. And as long as we're combining, I have 2 others that belong together. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Once again, these 2 prohibit the same kind of behavior. In this case, marital infidelity. The difference is coveting takes place in the mind, and I don't think you should outlaw fantasizing about someone else's wife. Otherwise, what's a guy going to think about when he's waxing his carrot? But marital fidelity is a good idea, so we're going to keep the idea and call this one, thou shalt not be unfaithful. And suddenly, we're down to 4. But when you think about it, honesty and fidelity are really part of the same overall value. So in truth, you could combine the 2 honesty commandments with the 2 fidelity commandments and give them simpler language, positive language instead of negative, and call the whole thing, thou shalt always be honest and faithful. And we're down to 3. Thou shalt, they're going away fast. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. This one is just plain fucking stupid. Coveting your neighbor's goods is what keeps the economy going. Am I right? Your neighbor gets a vibrator that plays "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." You want to get one too. Coveting creates jobs. Leave it alone. You throw out coveting and you're down to 2 now. The big honesty and fidelity commandment, and the one we haven't talked about yet.
Thou shalt
not kill. Murder. The 5th commandment. But when you think about it, religion has never really had a big problem with murder. Not really. More people have been killed in the name of God than for any other reason.
Yeah.
All you have to do... All you have to do is look at Northern Ireland, the Middle East, Kashmir, the Inquisition, the Crusades, and the World Trade Center to see how seriously the religious folks take "thou shalt not kill." The more devout they are, the more they see murder as being negotiable. It's negotiable. You know? It depends. It depends on who's doing the killing and who's getting killed. So, with all of this in mind, I leave you with my revised list of the 2 commandments. Thou shalt always be honest and faithful to the provider of thy nookie. And thou shalt try real hard not to kill anyone, unless, of course, they pray to a different invisible man from the one you pray to. 2 is all you need. Moses could have carried him down the hill in his fucking pocket. And if they had a list like that, I wouldn't mind those folks in Alabama putting it up on the courthouse wall. As long as they included one additional commandment, thou shalt keep thy religion to thyself. Thank you.
Yo, okay. He said, keep your religion to thyself. I remember back in the day, there was 3 things that you really didn't share. Like, I didn't share my religion with people I work with. They didn't know what God I prayed for. They didn't know how much money I made, but that one, But the 3rd one is, you don't know who I'm banging in my bedroom. Yeah, you didn't know who I voted for. You didn't know who I'm having sexual intercourse with. You know, you didn't know anything about me sexually. Like, that's not a conversation to have. You didn't know my religion. I still live by that today. Cause today, now people come up to me and like, oh, I'm him, I'm he, I'm she, I'm a cat. How you doing? And I did not vote for him. And also, I'm binary, I'm whatever. It's like, wait, what? I just said, how are you doing today? Are you having a good day? Yes, no. You had some hurdles that you had to jump through. Somebody yelled at you. You missed the bus getting to work. You woke up late. Your teacher was stressing you out. Your boss was on your butt. Why do I need to know all that stuff? Why do I need to know who you prayed for, who you voted for, and who you're sleeping with? Like, that does nothing for me. But I think those are the 3 things that people like to just throw at people today, man, which is weird to me. I still live by that old school style, man. I don't need, if you're a friend of mine, you come to my house, we watch football every Sunday, right? We're going to have all types of conversation. I actually talk to my brother on the phone a couple of times a week, and we talk for 3 hours, man. We'll talk about what's in the social media. Let's say, I don't know, we'll talk about Shannon Sharp or something like that, right? Next thing you know, by the time we finish, after 3 hours, we're talking about galaxies, space, and giants walking and trees moving around and just like trying to understand everything, right? You know, it's the one thing my brother and I, we never talked about. I don't ask him who he voted for. I don't ask him who he prays for. And I don't care what he does in his bedroom. I don't care. That doesn't do nothing for me or for him. I'm talking about even friends. Like today, you'll meet somebody who's like, I don't know, someone you never met, a stranger, and automatically you want to tell me all of those like details that should be secret? Like, why do I care? Why do I care? It's just weird today, man. Yeah, that's just weird. But George is different, man. I think I've learned how to enjoy George's comedy even more than before, man. I've done a couple of videos and I'm like, I get what he's saying. I get that. There was a couple things that I missed, but now it's like when I listen to him, I don't listen to him with the same ear that I listen to other comedians. Let's say today, I don't. You really just got to listen to his, like the words that he chooses at the moment. I think he carefully chooses those words, man. And if you don't know what those words mean, like me, it's good to look them up, right? And I'm not waiting for punchlines. To me, his funniness just comes. Like you just wait. That his funny is gonna get to you. It's coming. So I'm not waiting for the punchline. I'm not waiting for the comedy with George. I'm listening to the lecture. I'm listening to what he's saying. I'm being schooled. I want to know how in his head, how he came up with this. And then that's the funny. And with George, it ain't just funny. You learn, man. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. I know people say that George, what's his name? Dave Chappelle is sort of kind of like George, especially when he did like the gay joke stuff. I don't know, man. I know what you're saying, but like, I don't know. I don't think I've heard any comedian on stage like George, because George gives me, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how to put it in words, really. I'm going to try. I don't think you could just get a ticket, go to a George show, and come out of there feeling like, yo, that was money well spent if you don't really understand George. If you go in there expecting just a regular comedy from George, you're not going to have a good time. You'll get a couple of things, but I don't think you're going to have a good time. George, to me, is like an underground rapper, if that makes sense to you. Like, there's so many rappers that was just amazing back in my day, but they didn't, like, a lot of people just didn't understand it because they were too, like, let's say, lyrical. It's like, yo, what does he mean by this? What the hell is a double entendre? You know, like, George, if I compare it to rap, that's what George is. He's like an underground rapper, lyrical, and most people who just want to hear the boom bat will never understand the lyrical, the ones that can write, you know? Man, I could really sit here and just speak about this dude and just think about what he just said and just try to break it down slowly, but I know it's not good for a reaction video, but I just love the fact that he's made me change the way I listen to him, which is great. I don't know if there's any other comedians that does this or probably not the same level, but the same style. I don't know. But that's why we're here, though. Somebody in the comment section will guide me towards that person. Somebody might mention somebody down the line. I don't know. But I'm just glad, like, I'm listening to George now, man. Rest in peace, brother. And plus, I'll say it, my name is George too, so come on, man. Anyways, man, if there's more on George, and there is because somebody left me a list, so I shouldn't even say that. I do have a list. So, but you could still put in the comment section below. I mean, he could have did something that this person did put in a list. Hopefully I didn't forget, and then I did show the list. You know what? I'll put the list again. So that way you see, but yeah, he or she, I don't know who it is, but they gave me a couple of stuff and we're going to react to it, man. I like this a lot. Also look up Biggie, 10 crack commitments, man. You'll have fun. It's rap. If you don't like rap, just give it a shot, you know? I'm giving George a shot. If you're a fan of George, Give BIG a shot. Anyways, man, keep your head up. Love you guys as always. Till next time. Peace. Rest in peace, George.